Hello, it is I, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80 for the Full Force News Burst Live. Again, you're probably thinking, again? Do you do nothing else but go live from the HQ each time? Yes, we've got a little bit of kind of breaking news, and I thought, you know what? I am fully on board just chatting to you guys, even though I was on this morning? Saturday already still. I thought it was like Monday tomorrow. It's been that kind of day. But yes, I have, like I said, on the weekly, I have been working on the Emily and Lenny interview for you guys. Like I said, the Hasbro Q&A roundtable thing will be going up as soon as Hasbro let me. But for now, let's talk Super 7 news. Yes, we've got a few people in the comments already. Retro Boy 1357, yo. Hi, Todd Smith. How are you doing? Thanks for jumping on, guys. Yes, so what am I going live about tonight then, ladies and gentlemen and others? Well, I'll tell you what the scenario is. Super 7 Reaction have dropped another surprise redeco, which has taken us all by surprise. I've just been sent some images and I thought, well, you know what? Let's just go live, chat about it quickly, and then maybe call it an early night on this one because I've got to get back to that edit. And it, you've already had me once today. I mean, come on, give me a break. Right. So first things first, I have to transition, and of course, to do that, we have to have an explosion. As if by magic, I switch into this mode. So yes, Super 7 G.I. Joe Reaction Red Ninja. Now, this was one of those scenarios in a similar way to how the Fun School Blue Snake Eyes kind of appeared out of nowhere. It's kind of like a surprise redeco that they throw in every now and again. And it's been really fun that they're doing this. It's like adds another another level of like intrigue and definitely fun to the line. Super Saiyan Beaver, hello. Hasbro classified classic Red Ninja, please. Good, well, we can talk about that a little while. Absolutely. Good evening, Daniel. How are you doing? Yes. So yeah, Red Ninja. I really like this. Obviously, it's a redeco of Storm Shadow. With some beautiful artwork, and obviously I've got the pictures so we can have a look at those. Again, I think it reutilizes that Storm Shadow art with just the redeco on there. I will obviously multitask to try and figure that out. I was actually going to bring up the latest wave of figures anyway, but then, in my rush to get on here, completely forgot. Hello, Jason, and hello, Woodman29, and hello, Charles Fincher. Yes, I like this redeco as well. It's really nice, isn't it, Charles? I think. It's, again, quite a simple one for them to do, a bit of a no-brainer. And again, it's not like, it's almost like they've dropped this in here as like a surprise redeco, we believe. And I'm guessing like the Fun School one turned out to be a Target exclusive, I believe, didn't it? I'm pretty sure it was an exclusive. And so I imagine they'll kind of come clean as to what as to what the details of this figure are kind of in the future. But I would imagine that this is probably along the similar lines. I think it was found at Target as well. And we can see the back of the card here as well, which is really dope. And again, a really awesome file card with the clip of I think it's from the cartoon. Well, obviously it is from the cartoon. But I'm trying to figure out when they appeared in the cartoon. And I'm sure they did. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Get in the comments and remind me. But I really, or it could just be they've got a Storm Shadow clip and they've just painted it red. But I don't want to say that just in case that isn't the case. I do remember that episode where there's just a ton of Storm Shadows. They're all exactly the same. They're all like fighting Bazooka. And yeah, it was hilarious, that was. I have already forgotten to look up Super 7 and that wave, as I always do. I can't multitask for anything. But yeah, really, really fun what they're doing on this line. And the fact that they've done this multiple times already within the line makes you kind of think, it kind of gives you that like expectation, doesn't it, of like the next wave that comes out. You're expecting something else to be dropped in there as an like a little bit of fun, a little exclusive. And I'm not sure if that kind of like makes it worse for Super 7. Like they have to then keep up with this, you know. But still, it's pretty dope. And like I said, I think this is linked to the Flint wave. So the latest wave that's kind of hit stores now. You might be able to find this if you go into Targets. Like I said, it could be a Target exclusive. Interesting that they're doing this as an almost like army builder, but not in the same way they've done army builders. I would have expected them to go full on 9. Well, then again, you're not really going to get many variations other than maybe weapons, which is still a variation. So maybe they thought the figures aren't going to be varied enough. Again, you could do skin tone. So skin tone and weapon differences. I think they could have done that. I'm surprised they didn't. Maybe they got some feedback about the, huge amount of, figures included in a troop builder. I think it's like 9, isn't it? It's absolutely insane. So I don't know. I think people would have been fine with them releasing this in like loads of different ways. Seems to be a lot of love in the comments for the Red Ninja in the Super 7 line. Sorry, Charles, I'll take your comment down now. It's been up there the whole time. Jeremy, I hope we get the new Storm Shadow Buck in this colorway. Right, in classified. Right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That would be very cool. Daniel really likes the continued Super 7 reaction surprises, as do I. Yeah, again, like I really, really liked the I really, really enjoyed the Snake Eyes, like the Fun School Snake Eyes. Such a deep cut. This isn't like a super deep cut. It's just a really cute little surprise in there, isn't it? So yeah, this is the wave that's the dark blue Cobra Commander with battle helmet, Flint, Roadblock, not body massage, Firefly, Baroness in black, and Snake Eyes version 2, effectively. So it's that wave that we're seeing this particular surprise redeco. And of course, we have had Storm Shadow already in a previous wave. So it made sense that we were going to see something along these lines. And I think, people are saying, was it Satan or Satan? Devil's Due would be awesome, says Jeremy. Again, are you talking classified? Because it would be awesome. And I could see them doing like a Ninja Coup repaint with this particular figure. I could see them doing a teal repaint here. Like I can just see them doing that with this particular figure and getting the most out of it, definitely. Hello, Absorb Vids. Hello, Eric Lyonnaise. Odang, you say. Wolverine Snicked, this looks awesome. Road Pig John, very nice surprise by Super 7. They're good at this, aren't they? Yojo OC says meh. He's not a fan. Not a fan, Yojo OC. Pat. Hello, Pat. I like the accessory color choice that homages the vintage Satan figure. I hadn't even looked at that yet. And you've got, exactly, absolutely. You've got the bow, the quiver, and in brown or tan. And then you've got the little swords as well to go with him. But yeah, absolutely. Very cool point there, Pat, to pick up on that. It's a shame you're not joining me to do this. Yojo OC not into reaction at all. Totally fine, bud. Absolutely fine. It's not for everybody, is it? Not at all. I'm kind of like in and out of it. Like there's ones I'll see and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. And then others I'm kind of like, it exists. But I don't know. I've just been kind of drawn to it recently with some of the character choices and some of the really fun like little things they're doing in it, like this particular repaint kind of situation. Hey, Soda Popinski. Hey, Jason Latrull. I'll need at least 3. You think you'll need? Well, you'd probably be able to get these because we definitely saw. I've seen definitely the Fun School Snake Eyes the kind of blue, the bright blue Indian Fun School homage so many times. Like there's like like whole rows and racks of it. So I think it might be, if it's a similar situation where this is like an exclusive to Target, I think you better get these, no worries, in droves. So yeah. Michelle says hi, Pat. So that's to Pat. Pat's in their thing. We don't know at the moment, Scott, but we're guessing so. So at the moment, because it's followed a very similar trajectory as the Fun School Indian homage. I can't speak at the moment, because it's followed a similar a trajectory to that particular figure, and that did turn out to be a Target exclusive. Then it's likely that this is a similar scenario, or it could just be something they've just literally dropped in that wave as a surprise. But it's very more than likely a Target exclusive. We just don't know officially yet. Expect like tomorrow or maybe Monday, Super7 will probably make a big deal out of it with a proper reveal. They like to kind of drop them in, don't they, in the actual stores for people to kind of find, and that's something I quite like. Like I feel like with like Hasbro, a lot of stuff gets leaked, and against their wishes, a lot of stuff gets leaked, and they're not like, they don't want it to leak because they want to be able to surprise people during the events, and maybe even with like more of a kind of like an actual post on socials. But with Super7, I get the feeling that they're like, let it trickle out a little bit. Let people kind of find them and make a big deal of it, and then we'll reveal that kind of information. I feel like that's how they kind of do that. And obviously Hasbro have had that a lot in the last couple of years, where figures and stuff have found themselves on shelves, like in the whole Walmart kind of fiasco. Like every single time there was like a retro release at Walmart, it would be found in actual stores, and then that's where the news broke, and then they were kind of playing catch up at that point. I kind of feel like Super7 enjoy this. It's almost like a little game. It's like, if you find it and post it, and then like make this happen, then we will come clean. So yeah, I love the artwork on this as well. I really do. Obviously, I think it was the same as the Storm Shadow. I still didn't get to that image, did I? I should have just searched for it while I was poorly multitasking. Super7 reaction. Storm Shadow. Anyway, yeah. So as I was saying, like that whole kind of thing with Walmart, revealing figures before Hasbro had an opportunity to really kind of do it themselves, and I knew that was like kind of annoying, and to Hasbro as a company, and it was kind of like they were trying to kind of get on top of that. And yes, it would appear to be the original Storm Shadow art redecoed, which is still awesome. I absolutely love this art. I think, is it Jason Edmiston who does it? I see him posting this stuff all the time, and he's done an incredible job on this. So Mr. Edmiston, thank you so much for some beautiful art on these cards. Yeah, fantastic stuff. And yeah, you're right, Pat. Obviously, they have done the redeco as a Satan homage. Brilliant spot there. I was obviously in a rush to just get these images out, and didn't really think to look at any of that kind of stuff. Yes, Dan Klingensmith, I'm on again. Like, you can't get rid of me, can you? What else we got here? Jeremy, Classified or Super7, any deep cut Joe products are awesome in my book. Absolutely, it really does sing to the fans, doesn't it? When it's a deep cut. Not like I said, like the Red Ninja is pretty well known. I mean, it was even in Retaliation, wasn't it? Like the Red Ninjas are kind of like very G.I. Joe, almost like iconography with G.I. Joe, because of the comics and so on and so forth. But yes, Clay, it is cool. I think so anyway. I think it's very cool. Yojo OC, their character choices are very cool though. Doing different stuff, I'll give them that. Well, there you go, bud. Thanks for having a little bit of a different spin at the end of that. I really appreciate that. And like I said, yeah, it's not for everyone, is it? Super7 in general isn't for everybody, but there is definitely some sort of ridiculously large consumer base for these figures, because there are so many of them and they keep churning them out. So yeah, it happens. Pat is saying G.I. Joe Reaction Figures Wave 3A Red Ninja. Is that it? It's not. It's not an exclusive. It's a Wave 3A Red Ninja. Is that? Where did you find that information, Pat? If only you could join me in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, let me know in the comments, please, dude. Scott Mazarol, I'm all in on Super 7. I was trying to stay with classified, but with all the waiting, I had to scratch that itch. Thanks for answering my question. You're welcome, bud. Absolutely, no worries. Soda. Chris, the Renegade's truck name was the Coyote. Yeah, absolutely. It was the Coyote. Hasbro did show a toy prototype and it was never released. I'm fully aware of that, Soda. I think I just said the truck from Renegades in the last episode because just to save time, I wasn't really going into depth about the kind of details, but no, I know exactly what you're saying and what that relates to. You're kind of like watching, it's almost like you're watching 2 episodes ago. A Punk with Toys. Wait, is the Full Force Weekly still going? Sort of, yeah. Blimey, never ends, does it? Never blooming ends. Dan, I think it's Jason Edmiston, and it is gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Ricky, yes, this is what I'm saying. It's like when we were kids and didn't know what was coming out until we found it in a store. And I think Super 7 enjoy that. It's part of the nostalgia that they kind of peddle in a way, isn't it? You know, and I do like that about it. The kind of like, you know, find it for yourself, enjoy it in a different way from getting it pumped into your face from multiple news sources every few minutes. And not knowing that it's coming, and then just bang, it's on the shelf. Fantastic. I totally agree with you, Ricky, on that one. 100%. Daniel, think Super 7 will have a big reveal in June. Well, Daniel Rodriguez, I think it's almost like it would be negligent of them not to have something dropping around that time. We do know, obviously, that the troop builders from this wave are, well, not this wave. They've kind of split things up a bit, haven't they? You know, these went, the last wave went up for pre-order. Then we got this other wave of troop builders that is going to be pre-ordered in the future. So there's so much, and it just keeps flooding through. But I do think they'll have some stuff for June. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was movie-based, what with the whole 35th anniversary, with the movie in theaters. I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing some movie stuff. And how much fun would that be in reaction? Oh, my word. And see, Yojo OC, you're starting to turn to the Super 7 side. You're starting to turn over, man. Like, you started off like, oh, this is rubbish, I hate it. And now you're like, oh, it's hard to resist a ninja, though. It's like I call it the Newsburst live effect. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Me just talking it up the whole time, saying how beautiful the artwork is, it just changes your mind. But no, Yojo OC, do not be afraid to stand your ground if you're not a fan of those particular figures. But if you do feel yourself getting tempted, I'm not going to stand in your way, pal. Do I think Classified will still do Ninja Force since they talked about it back in 2020? Well, Super Saiyan Bebo, they've talked about it recently again. And in actual fact, I won't say why or in what I'm not going to give the game away completely because it will be on the Hasbro Q&A round table panel that we did. So if you can wait until Hasbro sign off on that video edit, then you'll find out very soon that Ninja Force was brought up again. Not in a, they're doing Ninja Force, but an interesting comment was made. So possibly, I think Ninja Force is not off the table. It is definitely on the table. It is on the whiteboard list of characters they're going to be doing in the Classified line for sure. Oh, you want to join now, do you, Pat? Unfortunately, I don't have a news burst double window graphic. I know, isn't that the worst? I was hoping you're at work and that you would just kind of pop in quickly to say hello or whatever. So I apologize, mate. Next time I will try to be more. I'll try to be on it a bit more, and I'll try and get that graphic sorted beforehand. But yeah, this is everyone tuning in to see how the sausage gets made now, I'm afraid. But yeah, look, Pat is. I can if you want. See. If I just keep you up there, it's like you're on the call anyway. And if every comment you make, I'll just bring up on the screen. So it's like you're here anyway, mate. It's the same background. So amazing. Pat, I wish you were here, mate, honestly. In this day and age, in the internet, it's rare to be surprised by a figure on the peg. It's like when we were kids back in the day. You're not the only person to have said that, Slave. And yeah, I agreed. Samesies. Samesies. Looks like Lenny kills the chances to this look for the Red Ninja on the last stream. Looks like Lenny kills the chances for this. Well, not really. Do you mean like because of the blue Red Ninja repaint? Do you mean that, or did he say something about that? Because I don't think it's off the table. I don't think it's off the table, and I think we'll get most things that exist in the line eventually. Yeah. Jeremy says, considering Emily and Lenny showed Super7 stuff in previous streams, I'm sure Hasbro will give them some screen time in Yojo June. Absolutely. Good point as well, Jeremy. Absorb vids. I got the Firefly and Snake Eyes from the new wave, and they are awesome. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. That Firefly and I love the decos on both of those, and especially Snake Eyes because of that. They've gone with that kind of bluey purpley color, very animation kind of stuff. I like that. Patrick. Fun School Snake Eyes was listed as G.I. Joe Reaction Figures Wave 2, Snake Eyes, Secret Service, India. So I think this is likely a kind of companion case to Wave 3, going only to Target. Thank you, Pat, for that. I appreciate the even more details. This is great. It's like having Pat on the show, look. It's so it's screwing with my head. And like I said, Pat, I wish I could make you join, but it would be all over the place. Amazing. Maybe I should just switch to weekly graphics and we should just continue the weekly. Daniel McGovern says, I'm glad I'm not a completist because Super7 would be killing me. They're killing, they're killing it and they're killing people by the sounds of things with all these figures. The Target Transformers tend to be red toys, so this makes sense. Oh, right, the RED toys, yes, for the Target stuff. Yeah, wicked, man. Thank you. Reaction could do globulous pod like the vintage Star Wars Tauntaun with the trap to put the figure in. Yeah, that'd be wicked. Yeah, look, kind of like wrap around him. I could see that happening. I could definitely see them doing globulous and Nemesis Enforcer and Pythona and the Royal Guard. In fact, Royal Guard Army Builders. I mean, come on, it's the whole thing is written itself, hasn't it? The G.I. Joe, like in their winter jackets and stuff. Oh, 100%. 100%. It's going to happen now. We just talked into existence, haven't we? Amazon exclusive Storm Shadow was Ninja Force, and Kamakura and Blue Ninjas are ninjas that are Amazon exclusives. Well, yeah, and in terms of like specifically Ninja Force, I would say the Arctic Storm Shadow was like let's put this deco on it kind of vibe, rather than a direct. Well, it's an homage definitely to Ninja Force Storm Shadow, but I definitely think it was more of a deco thing. Do you know what I mean? Not saying that it's not. Effectively, that's what the figure is, really, isn't it? Let's face it. But when we say Ninja Force, like I'm definitely thinking that kind of blue eyes, snake eyes with the kind of in the all black. With all the blue weapons. I'm thinking Scarlet, Zartan. I'm thinking Nunchuck Dojo. All that kind of like specific Ninja Force stuff. And I know Storm Shadow with that deco was in the Ninja Force. I know what you're saying. I think when I look at that figure though, I think they thought, let's add this deco once it was done. That's what I think happened there. Just my thought process on it. But anyway, there's a lot of ninjas in here. And so Ninja Force is definitely not off the table. Definitely not. A Punk with Toys. I just did a review of the Super 7 Ultimate Tiger, and I have a bad taste in my mouth for this company. It has me rethinking my Ultimate Joes. That's a shame. What was the problems with them with it? A Punk with Toys. What were the issues? Because that's a shame to hear that. Because I've got I have a lot of friends who collect Ultimates in different guises, and specifically like the Turtles figures. I've just been blown away by them. So they look incredible, and they're like proper next level figures. So might be just a bad figure, might just be specific to Tigra. I don't know, but again, like I mean, it's one of those things where you just gonna have to wait and see in a way. I'm hoping they're going to be great. They look amazing. Even the pre-production ones, they were like the prototypes look great. Yes, Brian, how the bangers are made, mate. Bangers and mash. I know, Yojo OC. I cannot wait to watch the movie next month either. Cannot wait. Is it already next month? I guess it is, isn't it? Because it's the end of April, going into May, June. Yeah, it's like a month and a bit. But no, that's yeah. It's yeah, mental. This year is zipping by, but yeah, I cannot wait, and I'm so excited for that film in the big screen. Robot was also an Amazon exclusive, so I don't think so. Oh, what you mean, Ninja Force being a Walmart exclusive? Well, it's a possibility still. It's a possibility. Patrick Stewart, no problem. I've said all I have anyway. Well, you still, mate. It's nice to be on here and have banter, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Hot dog salad. Do you know anything about the Night Creeper we were supposed to get? The Snake Eyes version is terrible. The Night Creeper, what, from the movie line? Are you talking about the movie line kids figures? Because that's the only Night Creeper. That's the only Night Creeper we've had in any of the lines so far. And it was actually turned out pretty cool, I thought, the Night Creeper. I do actually have one, but it's packed away somewhere. I would have them out, but obviously I'm minimal space, and most of it's classified figures. But no, other than the Night Creeper that came out, it's out, and you can probably get it still. They're usually everywhere in like, in all sorts of stores. We went into a department store, one of like the kind of like end of a mall kind of department stores, either like Sears or JC Penney or any of those. And we went into the toy section packed with Snake Eyes movie stuff, including like all of those figures and multiples of the Night Creepers and stuff like that. So they're not hard to get hold of, bud. A Punk with Toys says, Pat's profile pic looks like he's disappointed in you every time you say you can't add him to the stream. It really does, doesn't it? But it's also the look that Pat gives me when he's on the stream, which is the look of disappointment 24/7. Could you imagine if Hasbro was dropping variants like Super 7 is? I know that would be crazy, wouldn't it? I mean, I would just like to get the figures on the shelves first and foremost, Adam. But yeah, you're right. Imagine them like sneaking in a redeco of a figure within a wave of classified figures and not telling anyone about it. And then you could kind of argue that some of like the slight variants, like the Troopers had multiple different kind of like variants where there was like a little bit of black on the collar, but then there was also blue on the collar. There were the two different eye colors for Beachhead. There were even though people don't believe me, I have two Cobra Island roadblocks that have two different style shades. And when I say style, I mean like the arms on the length of the arms are different on the actual shades themselves. So like the one set fits well and the other set kind of falls off a little bit if you look at it funny. But when I looked at them, there is a significant difference, and it is not like a fault or a break or a problem in the mold, because it's clean. So there's like something going on where they may have made a change in the run of the shades. I personally think. I've never asked them that question. I want to now, and I should have done, because I just literally had the best opportunity to do that for the last 3 days. Okay, so Adam, yes, I would love it if Hasbro were doing that kind of stuff. Could you imagine, though? Could you imagine? Oh, it would make collecting even harder. Um, oh, Daniel, that's genius. How about a super rare chase version of this figure with a Target logo instead of Cobra? That would actually be really fun because there are kind of, I want to say there's like precedent there, not necessarily in GI Joe, but in other lines where there's been like a figure that's come with like some sort of like, food mail away or something, and it's had the logo of the company on it or something. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head that I'm like thinking it is. You might know what I'm talking about in the comments. But that, as funny as that is, Daniel, it would drive me mad, and I'd be looking for that Target one all the time. Um, Patrick Stewart, maybe the Amazon toy buyer, is a fan of ninjas. It does feel that way, doesn't it? It really does, because there's a lot of Amazon exclusives, and they all tend to be that way inclined, apart from Roadblock. But you never know. We could be getting Ninja Force Roadblock. Wouldn't be surprised, would it? Or wouldn't be surprised. Walter says it's a smart move, getting the most out of their tooling molds. Absolutely, and obviously with this line, they can literally churn this stuff out, and then once they hit that run that they've hit, change it up a little bit, boom, away you go, next lot, and you've got a different figure. Plus you can see where they've done, you can see what they've done here, can't you? It's like the break in waves. Next wave, let's keep that mold going for Storm Shadow and just change the color. Yeah, absolutely. So you can definitely see that kind of process going forward, which is much more difficult for classified with the way that they reuse parts, and that's something they get into on that Q&A, and it is fascinating. So yeah, check that out as well, guys, when it goes up, obviously. Oh, right. There was supposed to be a retro 4-inch release of a Night Creeper. First I've heard of it, mate. First I've heard of it. Not saying that that means it didn't exist, but I have no idea what you're talking about, and that sounds kind of cool to me. So yeah, I mean, was there information? Was there listings? Were there pictures? I mean, what are we going on here? Because that is something that has passed me by. Um, or I'm just having a brain fart. But anyway, are you definitely talking about the Night Creeper here? If that is the case, interesting. But anyway, right. Well, unless there are any other comments and so on and so forth, we'll probably switch imagery now. Just have my face on screen, and we'll kind of bring it to a sort of close. But obviously, I have to transition, so I'll have to do this first. Got it just in time. Right. So, like I said, yeah, that was Super 7 reaction Red Ninja news, which I'm finding very exciting. I just think it's not even the figure that's blowing me away. It's the marketing move of nobody knowing about it and it appearing on a shelf. That is blowing my mind more than anything. Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of made me go wow. And yeah, so really kind of again, I'm buzzing for it mainly on that alone. It's funny, like Super 7 to me, my enjoyment of Super 7 comes with like when I see the Ultimates, it's all of the homages and working out where all of the different like weapons and accessories and aspects of the figure design are being taken from like the screen or the comic. That's what I get the biggest kick out of. And with reaction, just as a few of you have mentioned, it's not really like your favorite line or whatever. It's not a line that kind of really speaks to you. And I'd have to kind of like say that it wasn't until they started churning out all these really fun, interesting, different types of characters. And now we're in this position where we're getting figures that we don't even know about ahead of time, and they're keeping a pretty good lid on this information, aren't they? They have dropped all of their reveals have come for the most. Actually, that's not true. For the most part, they do get leaked just beforehand. Like the newest troop builders got leaked, didn't they? By Diamond. And what was the other one that I just thought of then? We had no idea about the public service, the PSA, the parody, the Fans of Film parody PSAs. Had no idea that line was coming. BBTS have dropped pre-orders before Super 7 have made their official reveal. But that isn't to say that Super 7 have just said to BBTS, yeah, go for it. You can reveal it. That's not to say that hasn't happened. Yeah. But the fact that they're doing this, they're keeping a lid on it close to the, reveal time. And yeah, and like I will reiterate, most of their stuff has gone without leaks. It's only been a few things, but it's still interesting to see them do that. And then to get a figure out with nobody knowing about it until it hits shelves, absolute stealth ninja genius. Interesting as well that it was a ninja figure that did the stealthy ninja thing and appeared out of nowhere. Like Bosch, amazing. Jeremy, blows my mind how many people hate repaints when they help pay for new tooling and give us new variants versions. Yeah, I think it would be a lot. Do you know what? I think the whole landscape would look a lot different if we all had those 7 figures in our hands right now that we've been waiting on. Crocmaster, brand new. Cobra Officer, brand new. Spirit, brand new. Storm Shadow, brand new. Outback, brand new. That's 5 of, was it then Python, Bat, and Viper repaints? But still, that's a lot of figures that we don't have in hand. Well, unless you're Canadian right now or European. How is it that the real American hero is not selling in the United States right now? What's going on? I moved here for this, and it was easier for me to get toys in the United Kingdom. Can you believe that? My collecting was a breeze when I lived in the UK. I would go into in-demand toys. I would say, Nick, yeah, I need this, and this. Boom, sorted. Here, got like multiple friends who are retailers that don't see the product for like ages. But again, sign of the times, that's more about shipping and everything. But it's just, it makes me laugh. And it's kind of ironic that as a child, I made a trip to a couple of trips to the United States with my family, with my folks, and was just blown away by the amount of product. Bought loads of G.I. Joe figures, came home, and it was, it was a different time, obviously. But then, obviously it was harder to get stuff like that in the United Kingdom. Now I'm like, right, well, let's move to the US. Let's get this even easier. Nope. Actually harder. How does that work? Anyway, yes. I'm not like I said, I think the landscape would look a lot different. I don't think you'd hear as much moaning or as much concern or as much worry if they had those figures were in people's hands. And like you said, it's difficult for a lot of people to compartmentalize or to even like, I'm not saying to understand the situation, but unless you're like, because I've been there too, actually, when I've not been like as deep as I have been in the industry, like knowing so many different people in the industry, speaking to them on a regular basis. And I'm talking Hasbro, I'm talking Boss Fight Studio, I'm talking all sorts of different groups of people that have been involved in different companies at all different levels and at all different times, whether it's marketing, design, whatever. Having that like constant talk and that constant dialogue where you're understanding it a bit more, it's easier for me then to be more understanding when certain things don't happen or go wrong, or there's an error or there's a problem or whatever. And when you see it from that perspective, it's easier and it's different. But when you're not in it, when you're just say, for example, a consumer, you're just getting information from like, hearsay or speculation. I know we speculate a lot of the time, but we're doing it from an educated guess standpoint a lot of the time. I'm not saying that other people aren't. I'm just saying that, like maybe the majority of people, when they do a lot of these shows or a lot of these kind of things, are probably coming at it from I wonder what this could be. Maybe it's this. And then that's where these things kind of like snowball a little bit. We do get a lot of inside information. Some of it we can talk about, some of it we can't talk about. But it's like I said, it's probably why I'm a little bit more understanding, shall we say, in certain scenarios. And that's not to say I haven't been upset or peed off or like, like, oh, that one day when you kind of like, oh, why isn't this working? But it's rhetorical because you know why something isn't happening. You just, especially when like you are, like I said, a little bit deeper in it and you can understand it and see it from a different perspective. It's hard as well for people when they're not in that scenario to say, like, if I put myself in that person's shoes, what must it be like? And I think that's why a lot of people will be really, really like rude and harsh and aggressive in like comments and stuff like that because they're not empathizing. They're not looking at it from someone else's point of view. All I'm doing right now is talking about a fun little thing that's popped up from Super 7. We haven't really had horribly gross negative comments and that kind of stuff. We don't really get that anymore. It used to happen a little bit back in the day, but like we've almost kind of like, I suppose, cultivated a more, I don't know, tolerant audience, I guess. But it's interesting, and it's really like I find it very very interesting to kind of like discuss it with people that are like in it, and kind of within that, and like I'm not saying there's anything bad about speculation. Also, I've just noticed another comment. I'll come to that usual mic in a second. But yeah, I just want to say that when I said speculation, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Speculation is like good for discussion. You can kind of, but then like we're speculating and kind of like, oh, I hope this happens. Not in a, it eventually becomes actually fact and everyone's upset because you said this was going to be this. And it's like, we didn't. We said we wanted it to be that. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, anyway, I find the whole conversation fascinating as well. And the whole thing about that psychology of the internet, and not just in collecting, but like, that kind of thing to go I'm going to write a comment and I'm going to be like really hot. Like, I'm going to call this person out on the crap that they're saying and talking about. And it's like, really? Am I really talking in a certain way that's making you want to like attack me? And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here or what's going to happen in the future, but like, I'll see it on like comments in, like the Hasbro streams. My goodness. It is like, it is not an understatement that it is an absolute cesspool sometimes. Hide chat is what I have to do when I do that. I can't do it here because the whole point of the video is to talk to you guys. Jeremy says, yes, Super 7 stealth drops are awesome. Hope Hasbro can do stealth drops, but make them readily available for all. That's the key that needs unlocking at the moment, doesn't it? Super Saiyan Bebo, I want Classified to finish the primary and secondary Real American Hero characters that everybody wants so we can get to the variants, redecos from comics, movies, modern style, assuming that's their plan. Unfortunately, repaints and variants, redecos, and so on and so forth have to happen in close proximity in order, in the way that the tools are used and the way that the tools are, utilized and getting the most out of them. And because these things are expensive, and also, God, I have actually borne witness to, like a detailed logistical schematic for, and I'm sure lots of people have seen this as well, but like a schematic for how like the tooling is going to be used like going forward for figures, and it just becomes this like hideous looking family tree. So yeah, like they have to kind of make sure they're hitting repaints like not like loads of years later, but like within a certain time period, and does it link with all these other things? And we're using legs on this figure, so there's a lot of kind of, it's not as easy as just going, well, just make all these characters and then do a load of repaints. It really is not as easy as that, unfortunately. Super Saiyan Bebo, repaints is good. I just don't like when my favorite characters don't get no love. Like Firefly and Beachhead still haven't gotten some love. Well, Firefly and Beachhead have come out in the classified line, but do you mean like more like redecos and stuff, like a kind of Tiger Force Beachhead or something, or a Tiger Force, or like a more classic looking Firefly? Is that what you're getting at? Because I think Beachhead is phenomenal as a figure. But yeah, yeah, and thanks for your comments as well. I really appreciate all these guys. This is awesome. It's a great conversation. Um, hot dog salad. I saw it in some video a while back when they were talking about redoing the Sky Striker 3 3/4 O-ring figures and the retro Night Creeper. Hasbro were talking about it. Is that what you're saying? I'm desperate to know what this is about because I don't think it's what you think it is. And if it is, I just need more information because are you talking about when the HasLab was happening and Hasbro were talking about it? Because unless they held up, when they were holding up, they were doing that thing where they were showing figures, weren't they? Like, oh, here's a cool O-ring Dr. Mindbender and stuff like that. And it was all like quirky figures and stuff like that that they were showing, but hadn't have anything to do with what they were releasing. It was all like, we just wanted to show you a figure in like a random way. Was it something like that? Because I do not know exactly what you're getting at. Retro Night Creeper would have been great though. I'd have had multiples. Can't wait for Classified Spirit and Freedom myself, Yojo. Cannot wait myself. Yes, usual Mike television. Speculation keeps the conversation open. I don't have insider information anymore, so I rely on comedy in my videos. I do respect what you do on YouTube. And I'm not saying that what you do isn't the correct way of doing things, usual Mike, at all. My point was about, how kind of like how rumors get started and it's, there's no kind of truth in it. And it just barrels out of kind of out of like probably a podcast where someone says, oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is happening, and it's like, unless you can kind of confirm that information, it really should stay in the speculative, and by the way, this is speculative talk. Do you know what I mean? But I totally agree with you, mate. I totally agree with you. We are constantly talking. Well, Pat and I are constantly speculating on what we want to see in the line, or what we think this particular character might be, or what this might be, or what that might be, or what we might see in the future, or what this listing is referring to. But at no point do we kind of like push it into that, like, hey guys, this is happening, and then it doesn't at the end of the day. But no, I totally get that, bud, and all power to you. And obviously, I do not rely on comedy. If we did, this channel would be dead. Keep doing what you're doing, man, and speculate away. Speculate away. Donald Allen, good shout out to Donald Allen, one of our patrons. I'm just happy to see G.I. Joe on the shelf. The more, the better. Absolutely, absolutely. I second, and there's probably multiples as well in there too. Facebook groups tend to be where a lot of the hate comes from, not your stream. You definitely have a more chill, tolerant fan base here. Yeah, I would definitely say that, Jeremy. And who would want to watch me if they were, against it, other than to maybe like, say some nasty things and peace out. But I don't know. I don't really get hate watching stuff. Like I don't understand that. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. I'm sure we're going to get people coming in and just being like, you suck and you're the worst and we hate you, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, I guess. But I'm waiting on that. It's bad enough I have that in real life. Daniel McGovern loves your channel as well, usual Mike. And yes, like I said, speculate away, my good man. Nice hat, says Yo Josie. Thank you. I'm a Bulls fan. I had to get a camo hat because I've been dying to get a camo hat, and I just saw this one out, and we were out with my folks, and we were in Lids in a mall when they came to visit, and Mum was going, I want to get you something for Christmas. I want to get you something else for Christmas. So I was like, okay, I kind of like this hat, and lo and behold, it was a present from me mum and dad. So love them very much. And I love the hat. It's dope. I grew up in the MJ kind of era, so that's why it got me into basketball. And I was like I said, I've played semi-pro in the past, and it was my life for a long time. And as a kid, Michael Jordan was my hero, and so the Bulls were my team as a little one. Adam Drake, Chris, your positivity has me triggered. I wouldn't even say I was being positive then. I was just having like a discussion with myself that was like, I thought we were getting a bit deep, but no, it's just, toxic positivity again, I guess. I understand being frustrated or disappointed, but there's no need for all the hate, anger, and vitriol. Here. Great. Well said. I agree with that too. And that's kind of what I think that's where I sit sometimes, honestly. Like, I feel like I do get frustrated and disappointed, but it's never in like a, well, screw you guys for ruining my life kind of thing. It's always like a, well, I guess I get on with it. I'll get on with it and I'll move on. And then, hopefully things change. Patrick Stewart might have an idea here. Did someone maybe say Night Creeper when they meant Night Boomer? That's a good shout, Pat. That sounds like something that sounds definitely like something that would have happened on one of those streams. Daniel McGovern says, these live chats stay civil because the man steering the ship is a good captain. Positivity breeds captivity. No, positivity breeds positivity. Thank you, Daniel. Much appreciated. Very nice thing to say. And like I said, if you say something nice to me, you'll always get called out. I'm such an egotist. It is disgusting. Super Saiyan, clarifying your Beachhead and Firefly on the top best classified figures. Just want more variants of them. Okay, you are 100% right. Same. Agreed. I'd love. This is what I want Firefly and Beachhead wise. Tiger Force Beachhead, because of his inclusion in the team. But then also Tiger Force Firefly, who becomes Sabotage / Wreckage. And I don't know who they'd go, the Sabretooth, / Wreckage. I don't know what name they go for, probably Wreckage at this point. But Sabretooth would be a nice, probably wouldn't be able to use it because of X-Men. It'd probably have to be like Steven Sabretooth Galinsky or something. Apologies to any Steven Galinskys out there who I've just plucked out of the sky. I tried to make a name up and Stephen came out. Apologies to all the Stevens also out there. But yes, it would have to be like one of those ones, wouldn't it? Like a Stuart Outback Selkirk scenario. But no, Firefly in a classically done Tiger Force pre-paint. That would be dope, wouldn't it? And then you knew he was going to be coming in that kind of classic style. And I will say that classified Firefly, I was playing with it the other day. I've been doing this thing where I have to get one classified every now and again off the shelf that I haven't really looked at or messed with for a while, and give it a good once over again, and bring it to the desk and have it sit there for a while so I can mess with it while I'm doing stuff and doing these streams. And Firefly, I picked it up and I'm like, man, this is a great figure. The accessories are amazing. It's just outstanding. So I definitely have to say that even though lots of people were kind of like, it's not like the classic one, it's too different. I think it's amazing. Love that figure. So yeah, good shout, Super Saiyan Bebo. X Factor 17. It's always weird to me with how lost some people are when it comes to keeping track of what has come out and what is on the way. There are many sources of information just a few clicks away. Very true. Very true. It does. I think the problem here, X Factors 17, if you're not following if you're following loads of people, I mean, the noise on the internet is remarkable, isn't it? It is a wall of information just coming at you. And I would probably argue it's probably quite difficult to get the specific information sometimes that you need. Having said that, I don't think a lot of people are seeking that information necessarily. It is just kind of being given to them. And when it's being given to you and you're not really doing the legwork, then your perspective is going to be different. So it might be you kind of look at a speculative comment, and I'm coming back to the speculative thing again. And like I said, we speculate all the time. We do it all the time. I'm not saying you don't do that. I'm saying, with great power comes great responsibility. Lol. But I feel like you're looking at it with a different lens, and it's going to be different viewpoints for different people because they don't have the ins and outs of what's actually going on really, and we don't really. We know bits and pieces. We're certainly not I'm certainly not sitting in Hasbro meetings. Do you know what I mean? It's not like someone's got their phone on and I'm just listening in. Actually, that's a good idea. I might try that. Some espionage for the channel. No, but that isn't happening either. So, we kind of piece together things based on what we know and what we can kind of gather, and then we make that kind of educated kind of conclusion from it. But we never really go, especially with the news burst stuff, we never really go full on, this is what it is. Like today, for example, that Red Ninja, we don't know it's a Target exclusive. It very likely is, just like the Fun School India Snake Eyes. But we're not going to say that. We're going to say it could be. And then tomorrow, people are going to be like, "Oh, it's a Target exclusive." Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like where you take what you want from it, I guess, and yeah, and that's what happens. The psychology of this era, this technological era, is fascinating, and I can't get enough information about that. Honestly. Donald, are you going to see the G.I. Joe movie theatre re-release? Am I? What do you think? I'm gonna put it to you, Donald. Do you think I'm gonna go see it? Because 100%, yeah. I told Kate the other day that the movie was going to be back in theatres, and she nearly did a backflip. And I didn't know she could do a backflip, but there it was. So yeah, we're going to be going. We've got. I think I've invited Mum and Dad to fly out to see. Mum was saying in the weekly earlier in the chat, she was saying she wished she could come and see it with us, like old times. And even Dad was like reminiscing over Sergeant Slammer in the comments. So yeah, Donald, yes, I bloody well am. Just try and stop me. I'm going multiple times, 100%. Yeah, yes, twice. Probably more than that. If I can see it more than twice, I will see it more than twice. Mr. Little 78. Love that name. It's kind of like Diagnostic 80, but less numbers and different letters. I too would love a classic Firefly deluxe with Cobra Night landing. Yeah, we've talked about this, haven't we? That would be so good. Small vehicle, exclusive, or just deluxe is what I meant to say, not exclusive. Deluxe, and again, classic Firefly build, perfect way to do that. And then, like I said, you could do a pre-paint Sabretooth / wreckage. Let's just say wreckage, because Sabretooth is probably not going to be allowed as a name, and they clearly went away from that early on anyway. But yes, wreckage would be wicked as a pre-paint Tiger Force figure. And then we get Firefly with the Cobra Night landing. I feel like that is the perfect marriage. And I think most people would be down for that. I think most people in the chat would be down for that, honestly. That sounds like a win-win-win situation, doesn't it? Am I going to see the 30th anniversary release of G.I. Joe the movie? Yes, Donald. 100% again, I am. Multiple times, as much as I can. So you've asked me twice, and I'm telling you 70 times. Yes, it's happening, mate. Tyrone says Beachhead Firefly might be the last 2 Walmart retro cards. Yeah, because they're stopping at 8 is what the information is. And we've got 6 revealed. Zartan and Storm Shadow, the most recent. Obviously, we've already had Lady J, Baroness, Gung Ho, and Destro. So we've got 6 at the moment. There are 2 more, and then the packaging's changing, and it looks as though they're probably just going to stop that completely and switch to something different for Walmart. Again, you'll find out even more information on the Hasbro Roundtable Q&A. And yes, Tyrone Westhead, that was pure speculation. Amazing. Yojo OC, there's a lot of classifieds we all want, but I can't complain so far because I bought or pre-ordered almost all of them. There hasn't been one I haven't, honestly. And I will continue to get every figure they do, because that it's just so dope to me. I love it. I think some of the figures are some of the best we've seen in action figure form in just anything. So yeah, love it. Jeremy is liking the wreckage / Sabretooth. Yes, please, he says. Yeah, I'd love that, honestly. Oh, here we go. In relation to the retro Night Creeper, during several of the Hasbro videos, Emily would pull out a vintage figure to talk about. One of those could have been the NC causing the confusion. That's what I was thinking as well. I only remember Dr. Mindbender, Giraffe Pants Leatherneck. There was a few others, but they were all kind of like late 90s, kind of, or like late 80s, early 90s figures, weren't they, that they kept pulling out. from what I remember. Well, it's definitely a Battle Core Mindbender, I think they pulled out. Anyway, yes, could be that, definitely. DCS70 says, all we need now is a reaction Ninja Viper. Make it happen, Super7. I could see them doing it, mate. Honestly, I can see them doing the teal. I could see them doing the Ninja Coup in black. I could see them doing. Are there any others? Well, I mean, yeah, there are. Yeah, yeah, I could see them doing all of them. Do you think that every Tiger Force figure that will get released will just be a Target exclusive, or is it just to be a few of them? Well, Legendary Toys, that was a question I broached at the roundtable and with the Emily Lenny interview. So I don't want to spoil anything for you because it's really good to watch. They're both really interesting and fascinating kind of things, if I do say so myself, having edited both of them. But I think that I don't want to say anything, mainly because I want you to see it on there. And I'm just going to spoil it for you. Effectively, yes and no. Like, obviously, the Tiger Force theme is going to run its course eventually, and it's probably going to be in a similar time frame to what we've seen with Cobra Island. So we're not going to get every single Tiger Force figure. However, in that line, they said that, they could quite easily do them in the main line or in a different exclusive, or they could reignite the Tiger Force thing again in some other time. So there's plans definitely in place to see us getting all of the different Tiger Force figures eventually. So don't worry too much about that. But hopefully that probably answers your question, and I've ruined it and spoiled the Q&A in the interview anyway. So there you go. Well, Christopher Moody, the reason is because it's just a simpler process. They're cheaper figures to produce and easier to engineer, simpler to sculpt, and you can churn out multiples of slight variants of them, which is what they've been doing. The 7-inch figures, my goodness, so many more moving parts, so many more accessories, so much more in terms of tooling and logistics and all sorts of stuff like that. Way more deco hits. The process is exponentially longer. Exponentially. Do you like that word? I should hope so. It's a pretty common word. But yeah, it's that's the situation really with that, Christopher. But yeah. DCS 70. Has anyone heard about the new G.I. Joe fan club? Yes, that's James Kavanagh Jr. Run operation, which we're supposed to be getting James on the show soon to talk about it. It's just obviously availability is becoming very difficult for myself, but we will try and get that sorted soon as possible, and he can tell you all about it. Well, Siren Wested, yeah, kind of backing up what I'm saying there. Lovely. Thank you very much. Less opportunities for QC, actually. That's a good shout. Yeah. Quality control is a big thing. And yeah, that is a very good point. Yeah. Oh, they're definitely way more articulated, Christopher. Definitely. Okay. X Factor 17. Yeah. When do I anticipate having that interview available for us? So probably Monday, because it has to be kind of vetted by Hasbro. They have to kind of like check it first. And I sent it in late on Friday, and obviously no one's working on the weekend. And hopefully, in the past, I've sent stuff on the weekend to Hasbro, and they've told me immediately that moment, yeah, go for it. I'd probably fine to post it. This is the thing. I just, I don't want to step on toes, and you'll see it eventually. And if other people post stuff as well, it doesn't matter. Like, watch mine as well. I don't mind. It's no biggie for me. I'm just doing this for you guys anyway, really. Just getting that stuff out there to, so you get as much as possible, much info as possible. And like I said, there's some really fun bits in the video for the roundtable. And then Emily and Lenny and myself have an absolute blast, just the three of us. I'm about halfway through that edit. So I'll be finished by I'll finish that by Monday. But the other one's actually up, and it's up on YouTube technically and ready to go, but it's just not. It's private. So yeah, it'll be up to Hasbro to say yay or nay or make some changes or whatever for the roundtable. And yeah, I can't really say, but I imagine Monday. Okay. Yojo OC, did I see the Transformers movie in theaters a few years back? It was awesome. I was smiling the whole movie. I saw it twice. I've seen it twice because they've run it twice now through Fathom events, and both times it was an absolute dream. We went, I think, with the Aranyas as well, and that was fun. Eric and Katrina and Oren. That was a lot of fun watching it with a group. And before that, Kate and I went on our own in Missouri when it was running, and they had that like whole end ep thing with Stan Bush doing the acoustic set and everything. It was well good, like a DVD extra almost. It's brilliant. Okay. There's more talk about the process. I'll leave that up to Tyrone and Christopher to talk it out, because obviously it sounds like there's a lot of learning going on there. A lot of talk about tolerances in plastics. We're getting into some deep stuff right there. Where has Justin Bell been, X Factor 17? Where has Justin Bell? He's been busy working, unfortunately. I just think he hates me now. I think he just hates us. He stays in the message group and pipes up every now and again, but I'm pretty sure he hates us or me. Usual Mike. Chris, what was your last classified figure you picked up? Mine was Major Blood, and I'm waiting for July pre-orders. Waiting. My last one was probably Ali Viper and Bat. I think they were the last two I picked up. Absolutely sensational figures. That Major Blood's a beauty as well, isn't it? Oh my god! Actually, I need to mess around with Blood. Blood's going to be the next one I grab and start playing with on the counter, because I haven't really touched that figure at all. But there's a Python. There's got to be a Python repaint in him at some point. What with the fact that he has a precedent in the Python Patrol. But Usual Mike, absolutely superb. I'm also waiting for like all of the pre-orders. But yeah, I will say that Ali Viper and Bat were the last two that I had in hand. I'm trying to get to the point where Hasbro just send it direct. I've tried to kiss their butts. So no, I'm kidding. As if I don't do this for free stuff. If I did it for free stuff, I'd be poor and the channel wouldn't exist anymore. Okay. Super Saiyan Bieber says, I want Classified to fix the crotch legs area sometimes. I feel the leg is going to break, but other than that, they are awesome figures, and of course, release more figures. I haven't had any issues with mine, dude. Honestly, I haven't had any issues with mine at all that I can think of. None that. That's the thing. Like it's very rare that I buy, like a whole line of things, and there isn't like something that is like an issue or something, a bit of quality control or a bit of an issue. I haven't had anything like that. In fact, the only thing I could even begin to throw in on one of the figures is a bit of a wobbly waist, and I can't remember who that is. It might be one of the Snake Eyes figures. I can't remember which one it is, like one of the earlier retail Snake Eyes figures. I can't, but yeah, the legs wibble a little bit, like side to side. It's Storm Shadow. It's Arctic Storm Shadow. That's the only issue I've had with any of the figures that I've had in hand. So either I'm getting very lucky, or I just have a very low bar. Probably the second, probably the latter, probably both. No problem, X Factor 17. They're really great. I mean, the round table is like an hour and 40 minutes, and the interview with Lenny and Emily is just under an hour. So it's a lot of content for you guys to enjoy soon. Jeremy, what is my favorite vintage figure, 82 to 94? My favorite, I've got a few. Okay, so it's hard for me to just pick one, but if I did have to pick one, it would be the V2 Storm Shadow, because of the digital camo and the sculpt. It's just the most beautiful figure I've ever seen in my life, I think. And also I've got this nostalgic kind of connection, this like, I went to the US as a kid, and the only Storm Shadow I was aware of was a Cobra agent. Saw this one on the shelves, picked it off. It was like 89. It was the 88 Storm Shadow, but he was still on pegs. And I'm like, what's this? This Storm Shadow. I love the deco. and everything. Flip it over. G.I. Joe. Read the file card. What? Like completely blown away, because I hadn't been reading the comics. That we didn't get the G.I. Joe ones easily in the United Kingdom. Some kids did. Some stores would get, those comics in, and some kids would be able to get them. But I was unaware. I just had Action Force comics. So I was just weekly and monthly for me. So I was just aware of this Storm Shadow just being like, a dope bad guy. All of a sudden he's on the Joe team. I'm like, what's this? And then honestly, that just blew my mind. I was like in this euphoria. I can feel it now. Like I can feel the moment I had it in my hand. I'm like transported to that store. It's weird, man. So yeah, V2 Storm Shadow, if I had to pick, but I have like a bevy of like the top echelon, and it's like Special Corps, which was our Steel Brigade. Mainly because it was like having your own action figure, and that was just like, that appealed to me so much. Like I was like, I'm in G.I. Joe, and it was like, that was me playing with the toy. Like it was marketing genius beyond a shadow of a doubt. And it was just beautifully executed. And it's a great figure, absolutely superb figure. The head helmet thing is just so weird, but so brilliant at the same time. And obviously all the parts reuse is top notch. It's like the version 1D, I want to say, that you guys got in the US. We are the Special Corps figure, the only Special Corps kit figure that I'm aware of that we got was the version 1D American version. So if you go onto Yojo, look, that's the version we got Special Corps. Just go onto Blood for the Baron, and you'll see the Special Corps figure there. I'm talking like you don't know what the Special Corps figure is. Like you probably very well do. But then on top of that, I also have to throw in version 4 Snake Eyes, because like nobody understands me apart from maybe like 2 people. But that version 4 Snake Eyes is glorious to me. Bloody love him. And Hydro Viper. They're my all-time favorites. Version 2 Storm Shadow, version 4 Snake Eyes, version 3 Snake Eyes for us in the UK. The crazy colors. You know what I'm talking about. Paintball Snake Eyes. And Special Corps. Have I said Special Corps? Yeah. Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Special Corps, and Hydro Viper. They're like the upper echelons for me, if I had to pick. And I just gave you like 20 of them. Hello, Windblade. How you doing? Oh, yeah, Tyrone, I'm saying the Arctic mission, Arctic Rescue set is genius. And I would love to see more stuff like that from Reaction, definitely. And I think we will. I definitely think we will. Daniel's like, maybe you can put some of that roundtable info early for your patrons. I can't, mate, because I've already given you more information than the roundtable suggests. We're ahead of the roundtable by about a year. Do not worry about that. A Punk with Toys. I think people like hearing your interviews with people in the industry because you never seem to have some other motive. You do a good job. Now get those videos uploaded. Will do, mate. And thank you very much for the comment. I appreciate that. There is zero agenda here, by the way. I do this because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing this stuff, like, talking G.I. Joe with my friends, and it's just amazing. Like this is my favorite thing to do, and it's my way of, like, I don't know, like interacting with with you obviously, but interacting with the brand. It's like a really interesting way for me to kind of express myself in a weird creative way, like, musically. So all the music you hear on here is produced, by moi. Creatively, I suppose, in the way it's performed by me, like performing in front of you guys. But then also, like, I don't know, like putting the stuff together, editing it together. I know the graphics, obviously, Brian does the graphics, and they're incredible, Brian Sauer, and he does an amazing job with them. But like, putting it all together and creating this kind of like these packages, I really enjoy doing it. It's got nothing to, like, I'm not doing this because I want like an action figure. Do you know what I mean? Like, not at all. In actual fact, I have emailed a few times to say, like, first of all, thank you for like the free stuff, because Hasbro have been doing that just recently with those amazing boxes they send out to, again, like journalists and podcast hosts and all that, all that kind of stuff, all of the marketing things. And I love like getting them, and I really appreciate it. But sometimes I feel like, God, I don't, I feel bad. I don't deserve this. I do like a lot of it has been like passed on to friends. Like I gave, I've given stuff like to people that I know would love it. Like like some of the I'm trying to think which one it was. What was it that I gave? I gave something to Andrew Franks, and it was the Ravage, the Transformers Ravage that they sent out a couple of boxes ago. Which again, I absolutely thought was awesome and loved it. I knew Andrew was dying to get his hands on it, so I was like, you know what? There you go. Like I felt better that I was giving it to someone who was like super into it as well. And I was also super into it, but you know what I mean? I'm just trying to tell you how good of a person I am, guys. That's what I'm trying to do. That kind of negates you being a good person when you have to tell people how good a person you are. What else we got going on? I'm going to call it I can't believe we've been going over an hour. I'm going to call it soon. DCS70 says, my target last time I was there had 5 of the blue reaction snake eyes. I hope they stock the red ninjas then. Like, they probably will, dude. And yeah, same with me. I've seen those blue reaction India Fun School snake eyes homage figures so much. Secret Service, I'm going to throw in there as well. Yes, Matthew, I am a machine. 2 live streams over an hour, and I've been editing in between as well. So absolute, yeah, I'm an idiot machine, I guess. Thank you, though. Oh, no. Target cancelled my Outback pre-order months ago, but I got to pre-order again today. We will see if they cancel it again. Fingers crossed for you, bud. I can't wait to get that Outback. He looks outstanding. Outback standing. Matthew, yes, V2 Storm Shadow is the best, isn't he? Like, sculpt, box art. Well, I didn't even talk about the card artwork, did I? The card artwork is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Also, Yojo OC's favorite fig was 88 Stormy, brilliant. Jeremy, do you think Storm Shadow version 2 doesn't get enough love? I don't know, actually. I feel like everyone seems to love him. What I feel like is he's not being homaged correctly, in my opinion. I want to see some basic ass digital camo on a really expensive high-end figure. You know how they always do like that sexy like winter camo, like with like scratching and lots of different stuff and effects in it. I'm kind of thinking, I don't want that. I just want some like Tetris pieces all over him. That's what I want to see. Camo Storm Shadow with a black vest would be awesome. Yes, he would. That camo Storm Shadow is dope. Love it. My personal favorite is Rock and Roll V2, another cracking figure, and another one I got, I think, around that trip. And absolutely loved him for those 2 like handheld double-barreled Gatling gun things with that strapped to the back. Just dope figure. That's my rock and roll, I guess, in terms of how I view rock and roll. Some people are OG, that, yeah, for me it's that one. Yojo OC, when I started my Mint Loose Joe collection in 2012, the first figure I bought was 88 Stormy. That's awesome. You think Classified will make a G.I. Joe good guy army builder trooper like Steel Brigade or Green Shirts? Do I think Classified will do that? Yeah, I do. They can't use the Steel Brigade name for obvious reasons, but there is precedent for Steel Battalion, which was used for War on Cobra. So I could see them doing Steel Battalion figures, and I could definitely see them doing some sort of updated green shirt or something like those. But I think Steel Battalion would be the way to go, honestly. Yeah, definitely. I could see, yeah, definitely do that. I mean, they certainly have plenty of Cobra Troop builders, so that it's not like they need to do it, but they could certainly pull one of those bad boys out of the hat. Yeah, I think they would. I think, yes, Super Saiyan Bebo, honestly. I may have missed it, but you think any truth in that some people got Hasbro Pulse email of Tomax getting ready to ship soon? Because it'd be awesome if we. No, I know for a fact that people did, because a number of close friends, a number of people close to the show got those emails. So it definitely has happened. And again, based on the way shipping is happening at the moment, certain things are sneaking through and certain things aren't. It doesn't surprise me that some random figures are getting in that should have been after what we should already have in hand. God, it's like it just gives me a headache thinking about it now. it's been a while since you had any new classified figures. But it feels that way for me as well. What have we got going on? Yeah, repaints have been a big part of the Joe line since the beginning. Absolutely, Jason. What else we got? 84 Zartan color change for the win, and of course Steel Brigade. Are those your favorites, DC S70? 97 PPD Destro, of course. Just wish they had used the 83 mold though. Yeah, they used that. Yeah, I actually quite like that figure though. The later one. I do like it in a weird way. I like the big, fatter, kind of more animated collar. Yes, whenever they remake version 2 Stormy, they never get the camo right. Well, they just don't. They don't want to go basic, is what happens there. And when you've got like a bigger figure, like they've done it on they did the camo right on the Funko Pop. So well done them. But like when it comes to like 3-0 and Sideshow and those kind of companies, they're not going to stick Tetris blocks all over it. Although I would go absolutely bunghole crazy if they did, in a good way. Oh, Super7 Vivo. How can the classified make a Batman figure? I know it sounds crazy, but could it be possible? Well, yeah, they could do that crossover Snake Eyes Fortnite Batman thing, couldn't they? They could do that as like a, remember when, was it Mattel and DC did Master of the Universe with DC comic characters? Like there was like a Merman and Aquaman or something, and then there was like Superman and Skeletor, I want to say, or Superman and He-Man, and no, it was Superman and Skeletor and a He-Man and Lex Luthor or something, wasn't it? Yeah, I vaguely remember those packs, but I think Fortnite Snake Eyes and Batman is something they could definitely do, but then you'd have to, like, Hasbro would have to be a lot of red tape, I think, to get it done. But yeah, it was in a comic, so maybe it could be in an action figure. I don't know. Easiest probably to do in a comic, isn't it? And especially when Fortnite are running the show. In that sense. Jeremy says Storm Shadow product is typically V1 Cobra or version 3 Ninja Force. Version 2, while it's loved, it's version 1 or version 3 that gets made. Yeah, I'd kind of agree with that. Oh, Patrick, because obviously, sorry, I should also say that Pat's images were what we were using today for the Red Ninja. There were 5 Red Ninjas at Target by me today, and they still also have several blue Snake Eyes. Thank you for the update, Patrick. I'm going to call it a night now, guys, because it's way too late, and I've got loads more work to do. For you lot. Also, yes, thanks, Daniel. Less than 4 hours left to pre-order the Robo Skull. Get in the backer kit now, the pre-order backer kit, and get what you want before it's too late. And also the special edition Robo Skull with Weasel Pilot is obviously limited to Kickstarter. It won't happen after the fact, so make sure you get that if you want it. Hello, Ritz. Sorry, I know you're late and I'm just finishing. Apologies. You can check it out again later, I guess, or just wait a few minutes and I'll be live again later. Thank you for jumping on though, Ritz. I appreciate it, buddy. They did actually, Boocat, they did have a nice Joe Trooper design for the Retaliation figures, didn't they? That was a brilliant figure. And if they did that in classified, yes, bloomin' well, please. I would take that in a heartbeat. Old Mohawky McMahon. Love that figure. Great shout, Boocat. Thank you. Oh, that's a good shout, Christopher. They're going to do a grunt figure, and that will be the army builder. That is a good shout, actually, because if they do a grunt in classified, which you kind of expect again would be one that would be definitely kind of on the table, that it would kind of like act almost as an army builder to a degree. Problem is, like, I definitely want to have like a character grunt. Do you know what I mean? And also one of my other favorite figures, and you'll all hate me for this so bad, is Orange Pants Screaming Grunt. I absolutely love that figure. He used to be my Arnie when I used to play Predator with my G.I. Joes. I know you're all thinking, what are you talking about? It doesn't look anything like Arnie, but he was kind of hench, and he had that kind of like, kind of like cut, that haircut. But anyway, enough of this. We'll talk about that on a different stream. Yeah. Yes, Ritz missed you, Pat, this morning, mate. See, we'll have to hang on until next week now to see the beautiful Pat Stewart again. Yeah. Yeah, remember that. Hall of Fame, heavy duty, and grunt basics. Yeah, they were kind of like in that vein for sure, definitely. You're welcome, Jason. Anytime, buddy. I enjoy doing them, and I will probably see you again in the week at some point if you want to jump on again. That's a good shout as well, Matt. Can't wait to get my Gary Goggles G.I Viper figures, and that's so true. Like, what a brilliant way to, celebrate the man. Yeah, absolutely. Get in there, guys. Get in the Skeletron backer kit for the Robo Skulls, and you won't be disappointed, really. Let's face it. I mean, blooming heck. If it takes a while to deliver as well, I mean, when they get here, I mean, come on. Yikes. Anyway, thank you, Legendary Toys, as well. Awesome stream. Can't wait to see the roundtable on Monday. Have a good night. You too. I'm going to get loads of messages on Monday like, where is it? Why haven't you uploaded it yet? Road Pig was your Arnie, Matt. That's a good shout. That is a good shout, because obviously he's hench as heck and he's got a similar hair vibe going on. No, I'd like that, Matt. That's a good shout. I think I was very strict and I wouldn't use bad guys for the team. And I had I think it was Roadblock, Tiger Force Roadblock as Mac because of the bald head. I had Stalker as Dylan. I had Lifeline, I want to say. I think it was Lifeline as Hawkins. Was it Hawkins? Yeah, it was Hawkins, wasn't it? And I had... I didn't have Spirit. Did I have Spirit? No, I didn't have the original Spirit, and I didn't have... There wasn't... The Marauder one didn't... No, I had the exclusive Euro... No, I didn't have that figure either. The Euro exclusive grey and red one, I got later in life. I never had a Spirit figure, ever, and as a kid. That sucks, man. I have had Spirit figures since, many of them. But yeah, interesting. I had to really rack my brain then for that. I think I used Quick Kick for Billy. Or did I? Anyway, it's not important, is it? Let's move on. Guys, thank you very much for jumping on and chatting with me. I really appreciate it. Michelle says, awesome. Pat saw Red Ninjas at Target. I bought Bats and Alley Vipers at mine. Wicked. Maybe they're getting through, Michelle. Maybe we're starting to fight through this terrible shipping crap. Anyway, no worries, Pat. You're going to be on next week, buddy. Don't worry. It's all good. We'll see you then. And maybe if I get my act together and force Brian to make us a different graphic, I'll get you on a Newsburst live as well. Okay. Right then. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. I will see you on the next one. And, I guess, as always, at the end of these episodes, after 3, what are we all going to do? 1, 2, 3. A full force. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter at The Full Force, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/The Full Force, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.